I'm going to go ahead and show you how we post a batch of route ticket charges to QuickBooks Desktop. So if you use the route schedule, your technicians are creating route tickets for everything they do, and in there they are inputting their charges. All these charges go to a staging area in the desktop. The first thing is, if you're using the mobile devices, make sure you have everything downloaded. Click Sync Mobile Device button along the top, select route tickets, and hit sync. Once this is complete, then you can move to the next step. I just want to make sure you have all the information in the desktop that your technicians have done. So if we go along the top here and go to Route Info, Route Ticket List. I'm sorry, we want to go to our Route Tickets Pending to Post. So Route Info, Tickets Pending to Post. This is a staging area. Basically, every route ticket that comes in with any line item in it is going to end up here. It's going to end up showing the charges waiting to go to QuickBooks. That's where they sit right here. They're still inside your route tickets, which will exist on your route ticket list, but this is every line item that is a charge in every route ticket shows up here. So you may see redundant information. At Alfonso's Pizzeria on 3/31, we added item 5, and it has a cost of $1. Inside that same ticket, we also added item number 3 with a quantity of 2, which is a total of $140. So keep in mind, even if you have items in these tickets and they don't have any quantities or totals, they are going to display on the screen. So it may look like a lot more data than what you should see, and that's okay. We have a few ways of adjusting this. Also along the bottom, you have a total. So the software will give you a total. So it's a good idea to kind of review, make sure your total looks about right before we start posting to QuickBooks. Now, I also recommend, if this is the very first time that you're sending your information to QuickBooks, I would highly recommend doing a backup of your QuickBooks data file before you do this. So you'll just want to Google how to back up my QuickBooks file and put in the version of QuickBooks that you're using and then hit enter. Google will give you some results. Each version may be a little different, but the idea is the same here. We want to get a very clean backup of QuickBooks before we post all this information in, especially if it's your first time. Maybe things aren't going to show up the way you want them to. And if we don't do that backup first, we can't easily revert and just fix this. If we don't get that backup first and you come to tech support for help, the first thing we're going to tell you to do is delete every invoice out of QuickBooks that is not correct. So if you've got 500 invoices, you're going to be there a while. That's why I really recommend you do a backup of QuickBooks first, just for the first couple billings. You never know. Maybe there's things you need to adjust. So once you've done that backup of QuickBooks, next thing you want to do is just kind of review this, make sure your charges look correct. And then once you're done with that and everything looks solid, you're ready to go to QuickBooks, you have a couple options. The first thing is you need to put in the date range. Right here are the dates of these route tickets. Most of you are going to be doing your billing every week or every month. A lot of companies do it at the end of the month. So you may encompass the entire month of March. So I'm just going to pretend like I have route tickets for the entire month of March with charges. And I'm just going to put a beginning and ending date. Beginning date of March 1st and an ending date of 3/31. The system is going to encompass every route ticket with a charge on this date inside this list. The next option is a pretty big one that a lot of people use. So we do have a lot of items here with no quantity or a $0 total. Anything that ends with a $0 total, we can remove them when posting to QuickBooks. All we have to do is check off post only values over $0. Now, if we have this option checked off and we post to QuickBooks, it's going to only post anything with a physical total. $1.99 would even show up. But anything that's $0 is going to fall off. That way the invoice is not full of junk. If you want all of the $0 stuff anyways, do not check off this button. But for the purpose of training, I'm going to check it off, as this is how most customers want to have their data show up in QuickBooks. Now, when we post this, it's going to take every ticket. Even though Brazil Food Market has tickets on the 28th and the 27th, it's going to combine every charge onto one invoice between this date range up here. So we'll take all of these charges and put them on one invoice for Brazil Food Market. The last piece is putting in a posting date. Maybe you want all the invoices to show up with the date of April 1st. So just put in whatever date you want these invoices to display on them. and then hit post to QuickBooks. And yes, we want to post to QuickBooks. Now you may see the system run for a little while, especially if you have like 1,000 or 2,000 items here. I only have 10. So it was a pretty quick batch post to QuickBooks. It's done. It's removed everything. That's an indication that it's complete with its job. We can then close the screen as we're done with it. Now, if we open up QuickBooks and go to Alfonso's Pizzeria, you're going to see that I have an invoice date of 4/1, and in here, we're going to have the 2 line items for the 2 charges that we had for this customer. Everything came in properly. The same thing with Brazil Food Market. Let's look at them. They were one of our test cases here. We'll see that the invoice is dated for 4/1, and the system has removed every line item that had a $0 charge. Only things that came over were the things that had actual amounts in the charges or the total. So that's as easy as it is to batch post from your route tickets pending to post into QuickBooks.